Before the achievements, before the celebrations, here's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
Bulldog fans, remember to follow Adrian College TV on social media. For game highlights and campus events, you can catch it all on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at Adrian College TV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our future streams live and support your Bulldogs.
Continue to take pride and learn from Asa Mahan's leadership today. Years of commitment to harnessing the power of creativity, ingenuity, community, and academic excellence.
I believe that if you get your degree, the world is going to feel like it's shrinking.
Welcome inside the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center for tonight's MIAA clash between the Adrian College Bulldogs, who will be playing host to the Calvin University Knights. Good evening, everyone. I'm Remington Gilniak, joined alongside by Alexander Grove. And AG, we should be in store for a good one today.
Yes, we should, Remy. These two teams met earlier this month on the 10th, or last month, excuse me, on the 10th of January at Calvin. And although, yes, we did lose that game 61-39. Calvin jumped out early with a double-digit lead. They were cruising while holding Adrian back, just 22% from the field, right? But Morgan Babb, she led the Bulldogs with 11 points during that day. Right? Calvin balanced out everywhere. Like Ryan Rohrher, scored 12, 11 from LaRue, allowed the Knights to cruise to victory on their home court.
Yeah, interesting note from that game. It was actually the Bulldogs who were the aggressors on defense. They forced 24 turnovers as a team compared to 18 on their end. However, they just could not convert or capitalize on any of those opportunities. Only 15 points off of those turnovers compared to 18 from Calvin on far fewer attempts. So for the Bulldogs, how do they not only have the type of defensive game they had, but how are they able to stack some points on top of it over on the other end?
Shoot. If they take a page from the last two games that they had, right, against Alma and Hope, finish the open shots that you have, right? We know that they can get the defensive stops. They've proven that. But once they get to the offensive side of the ball, those shots that you're open for, you got to finish those.
Yeah, so let's take a look at some of the keys to the game for either side. Let's start for Adrian. The keys tonight start on the offensive end, obviously, particularly with the perimeter shooting and overall flow. In the first meeting, scoring droughts allowed Calvin to control the tempo, so knocking down early shots early on is very crucial, stretching the defense out and opening driving lanes. Even though full possessions those full possessions, you need to avoid the rushed attempts late in the shot clock. So consistent perimeter threats, force defensive closeouts, which can unlock the paint touches, second chance opportunities. So if the Bulldogs can generate cleaner looks from the outside and maintain offensive rhythm as a unit, they really put themselves in a much better position to stay connected and dictate terms rather than chasing the game. So my question for you, AG, who are the Bulldogs looking at to be that offensive spark tonight?
Honestly, we've seen Bam do great things for this team, but unfortunately she's not going to get the start tonight. We have Ava Schultz replacing her. But who I'm excited to see is Sophia Bustle, the freshman, right? Like, against Hope, yes, it was a loss, but it was a loss to a tough team, a number one ranked team, or a top ranking team, excuse me. But Sophia Bustle, in 12 minutes, coming off the bench, right, 5 for 7 in field goals, right, 4 for 6 in three-point range, 14 points, had that 1 assist. I think coming off the bench, Sophia Bustle would be a great look, but starting lineup-wise, look for Ava Schultz to pick up the load where Bab steps off.
Yeah, you see the starting lineup on your screen right now with Schultz, Lish, Ix, Ignatowski, and Leinerth. Notably, Morgan Babb not in the lineup. I had a chance to speak to Angela Sikora before the game, and I kind of asked her because we saw the numbers come up on the screen, and we were like, where in the world is Morgan Babb? She's been the #1 player on this team for a few years now. Nothing super major, just been dealing some illnesses this week, so she should be getting the game at some point. Just expect some limited run from her tonight. So let's switch gears. Let's look at the Calvin side of things. The key tonight for them is simply repeating the formula that worked in the first meeting. The Knights were at their best when they controlled the pace, defended the perimeter, and forced Adrian to grind through every single possession. By staying disciplined in the half court, closing out on shooters, and limiting clean perimeter looks, Calvin was able to just dictate the flow of the game and turn defense into controlled offense. Offensively, patience is just as important. Valuing the ball, running sets deep into the shot clock, and capitalizing when Adrian gets impatient. If Calvin can once again impose their tempo and make this a possession-by-possession game, they'll be right where they need to be. So, AG, going to swing it back to you. Who's going to be the key player for Calvin tonight?
For Calvin, look for their guard, Anna Fernandez. In 17 games played, she got 15 starts. She averages around 27, 28 minutes a game, right? Scoring 16 points. Shooting over 40%, just under 45% from the field, right, and just a little under 40 from three-point range.
Yeah, you see the rest of the starting lineup for the Knights on your screen. Chloe Wiegers, Anna Fernandez, Caitlin LaRue, Lydia Saul, and Ryan Rohrer round out the starting 5. So we're starting to get a little bit closer to tip-off. And while we do it, we're going to take a look at the season-long stats, see how these teams match up. AG, want to take this one over?
Yeah, sure thing. I got you, partner. Looking at Adrian's side of things, she got 64 points per game with a field goal average of 39. So really look for them to be putting up shots at will after defensive stops. And when you look at Calvin's side of things, right, looking at Calvin, again, 40% from the field, right, turnovers. That is the biggest thing for both of these teams. You see both the stats on your screen right now with 16 for Adrian, 15 for Calvin. All right, so we'll see who can handle the ball the best in order to get the victory tonight.
Yeah, it's a little interesting. As you look at those season averages on your screen, you wouldn't think that Adrian is actually, they're the underdogs in this game. Not the first time we've talked about the dogs being dogs, on our broadcast before, but, it really puts things into perspective that, yes, this team comes in at 4-7. However, there's much more to this team than what we've seen so far, and I really think we're going to see a lot better of a performance tonight than what we did, especially last month. So as we get set for tip-off, we know both teams need to come out on top. The question is, will they execute? Stay with us. Tip-off is coming up next. Adrian and Calvin coming up on ACTV right after this.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. the Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome to Adrian College, where we believe in educating both the heart and the mind. With over 100 innovative academic programs and 10 cutting-edge institutes, you'll find a path that's right for you. Join our vibrant community of over 50 athletic teams and discover why we're recognized as a U.S. News & World Report Most Innovative Institution. Adrian College, where passion meets purpose. Your future starts here.
This is the Arrington Bookstore at Adrian College, the place to get game day ready, represent your clubs and organizations, and be Bulldog proud. With a wide selection of merchandise and a smile at every visit, stop by inside the Kane Student Center to pick up your Adrian College wares and make it another great day to be a Bulldog.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
Welcome back inside the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center as we inch closer and closer to tip-off. Starting lineups being announced, starting for Calvin right now. And, well, as these players run out, you know, these stands starting to fill up a little bit. Of course, last Wednesday, Bulldogs had that exciting win over Alma, and we kind of saw the student section take on a, minor role in that. It's starting to fill up a little bit, but, especially that second half, when the Dogs start scoring on that far end of the court, it's really cool to see the student section stand up behind them on a big three. So, AG, I know you didn't play basketball per se, but as a former current athlete as well, what can you tell me about the kind of effect that has?
It's a huge effect where it becomes indescribable on how much energy flows through the building, especially flows through for you, because you can have you as a team could be having a lull in the game, but as soon as you hear the student section, or if you're playing pro sports, hear those fans just start to rile up behind you and start to bring that energy. It's like adrenaline just got shot in your system, and all systems are firing.
Yeah, you're seeing that a little bit right now as these Bulldogs run out. All smile so far. Definitely just doesn't look like a team that's 4-7. Just the body language, the posture, sort of the things you're seeing. The contrast, what I'm seeing right now, look at just the energy you're seeing on the Adrian side of things versus Calvin right now.
Yeah, with Calvin, both teams are taking this serious. Let's not get it twisted. But with Adrian, you see kind of loose. You see them having fun. You see that they're relaxed. Calvin, they're focused, they're confident, but at the same time, they look a little bit uptight. But we'll see how both teams are when tip-off happens.
Yeah, speaking of tip-off, let's take a look at who our jumpers are going to be. I believe it's going to be Lydia Saul jumping for Calvin, the 6'1" junior forward out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I believe for the Bulldogs, we're going to see Aubrey Ix. We've seen her jump a few times this year. Pretty good success rate the Bulldogs have had so far on the season. But both teams running very similar lineups to start things off here. Both of them running 3 guard and 3 forwards lineups. I know in college basketball positions get a little bit tricky. What's a guard, what's a wing, what's a forward. But in the end, both teams are running 2 tall players and 3 not so tall players.
A traditional view of the game. Here we go. First one.
And how about that jump ball there? It's going to be Hannah Lish putting one in. A good start for the Dogs.
Really, really nice tip-off. As you just said, how Ix was able to win that. Easy stuff for Lish.
So up top, it's LaRue. Dishes it over to Fernandez. Foul is called. I believe they're going to call that. So yes, 1-1 goes up. It's going to go against Ix. not a good start for the Bulldogs is, already limited at the big position. Aubrey Hicks picks up an off-ball foul.
That's one thing that we saw in the past previous games from this Bulldog squad is that, although they are really good on defense, sometimes they can get a little bit too aggressive, which can get into early foul trouble, especially with star players like
Fernandez takes the pull-up J and absolutely drills it. Pretty shot, starting things off for the Knights. So now going the other way, it's Lish. Doesn't use the screen from Ix, steps back, dishes it over to Schultz. Now to Leinert. Ix has it, drives in, looking for space. Pass to Leinert, fumbled with, but eventually corralled. Back to Lish. Man-to-man defense by these Knights. Lish drives in. Shot is blocked by Saul. So going the other way in transition is the Knights. It's Wiegers. Gives it back to Fernandez. Bulldogs going over the screen. Good defense by Leinert, but driving in from the corners. Wiegers, she lays it up and in.
And it looks like Calvin's making me eat my words before tip-off with saying how they looked a little bit not relaxed or anything like that when they were controlling the pace of the game early.
So Lish getting some orders from Miller from the bench, resets up top. Swings it over to Ix on the wing. Ignatowski from the corner, trying to put a move on the defender, nothing doing. Back to Ix, she drives in, some contact, no foul call, follows her own rebound, puts it up and in for two.
Good stuff by Ix, driving in, never giving up attitude.
So it's Rohrer going up with the left hand. This one won't go. Rebounded by Schultz. Dogs finally get a stop, and it's Lish pushing the tempo the other way. She slow things up now. Looking for some help. Now Leinert has it up top. Now to Schultz, going baseline, quickly swarmed. Pass out to Ix, fight for it on the ground. And it's going to be corralled by a Knight. That's LaRue. We're going to take another look at it.
Well, you see here, you got Ix driving through, misses a shot originally, but follows it up very nicely for those easy 2 points.
Yeah, we might see a little bit of a downtick in offensive rebound just with Morgan Babb either being out or limited. Still not sure how much we're going to see her. So plays like that, absolutely crucial for the Bulldogs, to take advantage of having size down low in Ix. So here's Saul. Gives it up for Rohrer. Rohrer, little reverse pivot, left hand, too strong. Off the back iron, rebounded by Ix. So it's been Lish, the primary ball handler so far, sophomore guard. She swings it over to Ignatowski, now back to Leinert. Now Schultz up top. Bulldogs moving it around nicely now, but nothing developing on the offensive end here.
Yeah, that's one thing about this, about the Bulldogs right now is that their spacing seems to be a little bit too tight early on in this frame.
Shot clock winding down. Ix spins, goes up left hand, won't go. Off the back iron, rebounded Fernandez. He's going to push the tempo, going the other way. And now Wiegers cuts in, gets the basket.
Yeah, transition offense was on point for Calvin. If you're the Bulldogs, you got to make sure every man is back, every woman is back here on National Women's, Girls, and Sports Day.
Yeah, I like the play by Fernandez there. The senior guard surveyed the floor, made a beautiful dish to a cutting Wiegers, led to a wide open layup. So here's Lish, has space driving in, goes up, shot is blocked. Absolutely denied by Lydia Saul. So Fernandez has it going the other way, going to slow things up. Dish over to Rohrer, looking for some help, guarded by Schultz, spins, pump fakes, goes up, left hand off the glass, up and in. So Lish and the Bulldogs try to respond. Quickly down 4 points in this game. Looking for that offensive spark here. It's been slow possessions, gritty man-to-man defense here by these Calvin University Knights. It's Ignatowski going to take a crack at it. Nothing doing. Dish to Leinert, cuts baseline, quickly sworn, pass outside. Lish, wide open three, nylon.
Good plays. They recognized it, how they recognized the inside rotation, bump it up to the outside. Lish finally let it fly. We got it.
Yeah, big three there. Kind of shuts down some early momentum built up by Calvin. Another step back J from Fernandez. Swirls around, makes its way to the bottom for two.
Top player making a top play right there.
A couple subs waiting to be checked in at the scores table right now. For now, Bulldogs trying to get some points. Ix goes up, but the shot's going to be waved off. Foul on the floor.
Yeah, one thing about this defense that you can really appreciate from Calvin is the rotation from Saul. Look at that. Boom. Second block of the night so far. Like, her rotations is on point to start out this game and could help the Calvin Knights cruise to victory if they keep that up.
So we're going to have a timeout called here by Sam Miller. 10-7 your score, 5 minutes left here in the first quarter. We're going to take a break with them. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
Before the achievements, before the celebrations, there's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
Welcome back into the Marilas Sport and Fitness Center. Before we begin play again, we just want to remind you to stay connected with all the action by following at Adrian College TV on social media. From game highlights to campus events, we have got you covered. Don't miss a moment. Follow at Adrian College TV today. So the offense is clicking early on so far. Midway through the first quarter, 10-7 your score in favor of the Knights. AG, what's been clicking so far for Calvin?
For Calvin, it's that defense coming from Saul, good inside rotations, and then also their transition as well. Their transition offense is really clicking for them, and if they get stopped up, working it down low.
So Ashlyn Moorhead checks in. She'll be the one inbounding from the baseline. Quick shot from Bussell. Won't go. So it'll be Hallowell bringing it up for the Knights. Dish over to LaRue, working against Ix. Now pass inside. Bulldogs swarm in. Goes up, won't go. Rebounded, Leinert heading the other way. Gives it over to Moorhead. Now back to Bussell. She's guarded by LaRue. Leinert on the wing. A lot of space around her. Back to Moorhead. Ix down low. Back to Bussell. Looks like they're trying to create a three-point shot here. Pass to Moorhead in the corner. She'll try to go baseline. Spins around. Shot clock winding down. Pass inside to Leinert. Has a good look inside. Gets it up and in.
As you were saying, partner, they were trying to set up that three-point shot, but recognizing the mismatch down low, realizing that Leinert had a step, 2 points up.
So here's LaRue on the wing, guarded by Bussell. Dish back inside to Rower. She'll take the pull-up, Jay. Too strong off the back iron. Fight for the rebound. Corralled by Leinert. Here's Moorhead going the other way. Sweet pass to Bussell. Navigated through some traffic. In the end, doesn't result in much, but pretty nonetheless. So here's Moorhead. She's going to drive in. Has it poked away for a minute. Leinert from the corner. Rattles, won't go. Rebounded by LaRue, heading the other way. This Calvin team clearly wants to run early. It's a good dish over to Rare Dunn. Absolutely buries it with the mid-range J.
Yeah, Rare Dunn finished and capitalized on the shot. But one thing I do want to point out, we are seeing a difference from the game last month and this game starting out with how Calvin last month came out storming and thundering. But now we're seeing a little bit of an even bout, seeing how the Bulldogs are pulling up.
Here's Bussell, takes the three, and she drills it.
Just like we talked about in pregame.
I'll tell you what, AG, I'm going to start the Sophia Bussell propaganda. You know, for the last few seasons, it's been Morgan Babb this, Aubrey Ix that. And there's nothing wrong with it. They're fantastic players. Meanwhile, it's Gabby Hallowell who drills a three of her own, comes right back. But it's, you know, we're going to be entering a transitional period here where, you know, those players aren't going to be around anymore. They're going to have to find new ways to get these players involved. You know, try to put some points up on the board. And players like Bussell really gives a promising future to this team as Ix going to draw the foul. She's heading to the line for two.
Yeah, you mentioned Sophia Bussell and like one of the many freshmen on this team that are going to be a part of this future with Coach Miller, like some of the freshmen, Anna Ignatowski, Ashley Moorhead, Caitlin Griffin, right? All learning under the upperclassmen and under this leadership in order to carry this team to the future.
Yeah, Sam Miller, very experienced head coach. I didn't really look as closely into his bio as I thought until doing my prep work for this game. But Sam Miller, impressive resume. Spent some time at Western Michigan, spent a little bit of time in the G League as a coach, and makes his way back to Adrian, where he graduated from back in 2010 to try to rebuild this program into what it has the potential to be. So Ix misses both at the line, so the Knights going the other way. It's Fernandez on the wing, guarded by Lish. Driving in, left-handed layup from Hallowell will go. Pretty move. Kind of switched hands mid-flight and put it in for two.
I know we talked about Fernandez to watch out for on Calvin, but with how Saul's game, she might be an unsung hero with the defense and that pick and roll that she just set up.
Pass inside to Ix, deflected away. Pass back to Lish. Her three-pointer won't go. Fight for the rebound down low. Out of bounds, heading the other way.
Smart play. Very smart play, knocking that ball off of Bustle's knees.
So whistle comes in. We're going to have a sub here. It's going to be Ignatowski coming in favor of Moorhead. But I can't believe we haven't pointed out Morgan Babb has checked into this game. We haven't said a word about it yet.
Oh, we're going to say a word about her soon.
So bringing it up, it's going to be DeKuyper. But too much contact, and no, it's going to be a travel against the newly checked in Sammy DeKuyper. Turnover against Calvin. We're going to be heading the other way. So it's Lish bringing it up. Fernandez fakes the pressure. Going to back off now. Bulldogs trailing by 4. Minute 21 left here in the first quarter. Bustle from the wing tries to get it inside to Ix. Deflected away by Raredon. He'll be staying on this end of the floor.
Now, I don't know how much we're going to see of Babb. We're coming off the bench, well, as she gets subbed out here. But when she does get subbed in, watch for Adrian to switch up their play, switch their plays going from threes to down low.
Well, we've seen Ix really be the engine. They're trying to force feed her the ball down low, but give credit to Calvin. Been defending the heck out of it so far. So Lish drives in, dish to the corner here. Schultz, her three-pointer won't go off the back iron. Rebounded by Calvin. Still a fight for it. But it's DeKuyper who comes away with it. She'll push the tempo up to Hallowell. Pass to the far corner. Fernandez working against Lish. Slows up. Over to Saul, working in the post. Pivots around a bit. Good defense by Ix. Ends up back on the wing. That's Hallowell. Her three-pointer will not go. Haven't seen a bucket in a minute. Bulldogs trying to change that here. 30 seconds left in the first quarter. It's Ignatowski from the wing. Now to Bustle. Gets the screen back to Ignatowski. Recovers off the deflection. Puts it up and in for two.
See you in lane, field in lane, drive in lane. Good stuff by Ignatowski.
So it's Calvin with it. Hallowell was going to hold it for the last shot. Winding down to 5 seconds. Uses the screen. Driving in now against Ix. Dish to the corner. There's DeKuyper. Rattles in. Bucket is good. Sam Miller not happy with his team, but nonetheless, Calvin Knights come back with a buzzer beater 3 to end the first quarter.
And you see that screen being used right to DeKuyper. Off the iron in.
So a dramatic end of the first quarter here. This is the Calvin University Knights with a 5-point lead as we head into break. So don't go anywhere when we come back. Second quarter action here at Adrian College TV.
To become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
If there was one word I was going to use to describe the communication arts program at Adrian College, it would be unique. Students find themselves on the radio, in front of and behind the camera, and directing their own programs. Students learn in a personalized environment that sets them up for a world of opportunities. Are you ready for your moment in the limelight? Learn more about the Rush Communications Center and Adrian College's communications program by visiting adrian.edu today.
Welcome back inside the Marilat Sport and Fitness Center. Start of the second quarter here. It's the Calvin University Knights clinging on to a 20-15 lead after Sammy DeKuyper hit a buzzer beater three from the corner. Kawhi Leonard style, kind of rattled around before it eventually dropped through. But taking a look at this Calvin offense so far, let's take one more look at this play. Just a little dish at the back end by Hallowell led to the last second shot. And right after it, Sam Miller was just irate with the players on the floor for even allowing that good of an opportunity with so little time left.
Yeah, you always got to play to the final buzzer no matter what. Right? You got to make sure you execute. And I feel like that was what Coach Miller was saying in the huddle.
Yeah, especially against a team like Calvin that's just so good on the defensive end. Just can't allow buckets like that. As Ix goes up, gets her own rebound, puts it back up, won't go, but she'll be heading to the line for two.
Yeah, Ix, credit where credit's due. Ix comes in, she's fighting for it, gets bumped. Although she missed a shot, she go get two the hard way.
Yeah, Ix 1 for 2 from the line so far. It's only her second trip to the charity stripe today. First shot rattles in for her. So that cuts the deficit down to 4. But taking a look at this Calvin offense so far, it's kind of what we expected. You're seeing pretty much every player who's touching the court at least touching the ball a decent amount, getting some shots up. Just looking at the point totals, we're at 4, 4, 2, 5, 2, 3. There's not one player on this Calvin team that's going to beat you. As Ignatowski takes one away, heading the other way, just doesn't have the numbers, going to slow things up.
Yeah, with this being the final back half of the season for both teams, you're going to start seeing more and more teams get ready for that playoff style of basketball, which Calvin is doing.
Lish too strong on the 3. So going the other way, it's Gabby Hallowell who had herself a nice first quarter. She'll try to replicate it here in the second. Saul gives it to DeKuyper. Back to Fernandez. Fernandez drives. It gets Ignatowski. Goes up right hand. Won't go. She'll be heading to the line for 2.
Good drive by Fernandez. Fernandez making sure that contact is well met. 2 at the line.
Yeah, you're seeing Calvin do a really nice job of spacing the floor, and a lot of nice picks so far from Lydia Saul, just creating that space maybe artificially up top. But even on a lot of these Calvin drives, they're still looking to kick the ball outside. This is not a team who likes to shoot the 3, but if it's there, they're going to take it. We saw in the first quarter as the first shot from Fernandez goes in. But it wouldn't surprise me if, as this game progresses, we start seeing more and more Knights kick it out for 3 as opposed to taking a contested layup.
Well, so far what we've seen from the Knights is what you said earlier, taking what's there. And with them taking what's there, they're making the best of it by making it in.
So Leinerth has it now over to Ignatowski. Trying to get it to Ix. Nothing doing there. We'll give it back to Lish. Now back to Ignatowski. Finally they get it to Ix. Working down low. Back to Ignatowski. She'll take a 3. Nylon.
Contested 3 in the breadbasket.
Yeah, this is what this team needs to do. They're not necessarily the most prolific of scoring teams, so when they get opportunities like that, they want to convert those, and Ignatowski does just that. So now on the other end, it's Ix. Pokes it away for a second. Ball still loose, but picked up instantly by Lydia Saul, up and in for 2.
Now they're looking to start pressing. It's not full court press, but they're looking to start pressing here.
Yeah, we've seen this league a few times. It's just been Anna Fernandez who's been putting the absolute clamps on Bulldog guards so far. She'll retreat here. So it's going to be Leinerth bringing it up as opposed to Lish. She works against Whitty. Now Ignatowski, she'll pull it again. Why not? Won't go. A little too strong there. It's rebounded by Fernandez. She's going to try to push the tempo here. Slow things up behind the back. Goes up, right hand. Too strong, back iron. Fight for the rebound. It's Leinerth with it down low. Jump ball's called.
As we see here, Fernandez, after the missed shot, all right, scramble in front, went off the shin of one of the Bulldogs players, but scramble in front, and Calvin ball coming up.
You saw Fernandez, really the head never came up. She didn't know where the ball was. She was just kind of bent over, and the ball found her, which kind of created the chaos we saw. But here's Ignatowski jumping in a line. Wide open, fast break layup. She puts it in for two.
Good read of the play by the freshman Ignatowski. Picks it off right there. Finishes off on a nice layup.
Yeah, we've talked so much about this Calvin defense. How about the Adrian defense? Getting it done so far. Already a few steals. Fernandez, nice behind the back move. Step back, Jay, nylon.
Just dangerous. That's all I can say for that possession. Just dangerous.
Man, that's a pretty bucket there from Anna Fernandez. I'm sure the Bulldogs are happy she's a senior. We're going to have to deal with her next year. So here's Ignatowski outside. Pump fake. Nothing doing. Pass to Ix. She's going to drive in. Goes up left hand. Too strong off the glass. And another foul on the floor against Aubrey Ix.
Yeah, seeing the Adrian offense on that, possession, right? We're sort of seeing we're seeing one possession where they are playing Adrian basketball. Everything's being executed. There's spacing on there, and then there's another possession where things get tight again. Things get sporadic, where they don't know if the ball is coming to them. So, hopefully we'll see Adrian make that correct adjustment to be more consistent in that style of play.
So Uyghur's driving, has a lot of space. Open layup with the left hand, puts it up and in for two. As his lead for Calvin has grown up to 7. Bulldogs really need to respond here. So Leinerth has it on the wing. Back to Bustle. Now to Lish, drives in, puts on the brakes. Liner, she'll take the three from the wing. Airballed. Not sure if it was tipped or not. So I believe it was. So Uyghurs finds a wide open Fernandez. Baseline J. Drills it, and that's going to force a timeout from Sam Miller.
Yeah, you can't allow that to happen with Fernandez. Like, when you're coming back, you have to come back, or if she's open like that, she's always going to make you pay.
So it's 30-21. The Calvin Knights lead it. We've played just under 4 minutes in the second quarter. Don't go anywhere. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Gotten an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome back inside the Marilat Sport and Fitness Center. Calvin University Knights currently have a 9-point lead over the Adrian College Bulldogs. So with just over 6 minutes left here in the first half, what are the Bulldogs doing on offense that's leading to the lack of scoring so far?
It's just inconsistency. It's inconsistency with a mixture of, like, spacing. Because in the possessions that we have seen where we do get to the line, where we do make our threes, we see him play at Adrian basketball where we have the nice spacing, we draw people in, kick out, bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. But now it's instead of bam, bam, thank you, ma'am, it's bam, bam, we're going down, right? We got to make sure that we're consistent on all good things. We got to make sure that we're settled down on O so we can limit the turnovers and limit the forced shots.
Well, wham, wham, thank you, ma'am. If that's what you said there. Whatever that means, we're going to need the Bulldogs to do exactly that with just over 6 minutes left in the first half. It'll be Moorhead bringing it up, guarded by Uyghurs. Gives it up to Bustle, looking to get it down low. Nothing doing. Back to Liner. Bustle has it up top. She's going to use the screen from Schultz. Swings it over to Moorhead. Moorhead spins off the defender. Pass to Babb from the corner. She tries to drive in, nothing doing. A lot of contact. They're gonna call it travel.
Yeah, they saw that pivot foot pick up a little bit. Right, Babb trying to drive in, gets contacted by Sol, and yeah, that pivot foot picked up, and they counted it.
I mean, it is a travel, but I'm a little surprised we didn't see a foul on the floor there. A decent amount of contact was made. The shot goes up, won't go. Rebounded by Babb. She'll push the tempo going the other way. Bulldogs need to spark here. Let's see if they can find it. Moorhead gives it up for Bustle. Linerth up top. Now to Moorhead on the wing. Driving in. Defense collapses. Kicks it out to Bustle. Now she'll try to drive. Euros around. Left hand goes up and in for two.
Good drive by Sophia Bustle. Seeing it. Delivering it. Good two.
Pretty bucket there. Working it inside and outside is Bustles. Here's a wide open J from Raredon. Won't go. Rebound Fernandez. She comes away with it. Now wide open from the corner. It's LaRue who gets one to rattle in for three. So that's going to push the lead up to 10 now for Calvin. Bulldogs need to start either picking up the offense or starting to get some more stops on the other end. It's going to start here with a Morgan Babb three who airballs, but Linerth, good positioning, and she's going to put it right up and in for two.
No, that's not an airball. That's an assist. That's a pass. I know that, Morgan Babb. I do that all the time. That's a pass.
So it's going to be Fernandez up top, gets the screen from LaRue, drives in, right hand, counted in the foul.
Yeah, taking a good look at Calvin, right? Offensively, they're doing good, but honestly, one thing I want to point out, like we talk about the Adrian offense, but what they do good in is closing out on defense.
So it's Fernandez at the line. It's been a handful today, 4 for 5 from the field. So far, 2 of 2 from the charity stripe. Just want to remind you about Scholarship Day. Are you ready to explore your Adrian future? Scholarship Day lets admitted students tour campus, meet faculty, and earn a renewable scholarship. Register now at adrian.edu/admissions/visit-campus/scholarship-day. So on the other end, here's Schultz. She'll give it up for Ignatowski, who has some space up top. Quickly gives it up to Bustle. Back to Schultz. Ignatowski drives, trying to go baseline. Pass to Barkowitz. Now Moorhead spins around, looking for someone to get it to. She'll find Bustle on the wing. Shot clock winding down to 5 seconds. Moorhead gonna have to chuck something up here as she gets it up, and oh my goodness, a circus shot from Ashlyn Moorhead as the shot clock expired. Puts it up with the left hand, gets it to rattle in for two.
Send up her prayer and God answered.
So on the other end, here's LaRue. Gives it up for Raredon. Back out for Hallowell. Navigates through, guarded by Schultz. Goes up right over her, won't go. Rebounded by Schultz. Bulldogs will head the other way. Moorhead with momentum, full head of steam driving down. No foul called on the shot attempt. She wanted one there, nothing doing. So here's Wiegers driving in, navigates right down to the paint. We're going to have a foul heading the other way. Offensive foul.
You see a good drive, good prayer. So just right there. Right there towards the end of the shot clock.
Yes, I believe they called, it was an offensive foul against Lydia Saul. Not sure for what, couldn't hear the PA announcer see the referee on time. The Bulldogs trail by 9, 2:43 left in the first half here as Ignatowski back foot stepped on the line. So another turnover here. We'll be heading the other way.
Yeah, one thing when looking at the lineup that's on the floor right now, just be aware for Calvin to take advantage of the small ball lineup that's out there for Adrian.
Yeah, Bulldogs definitely running small here. It doesn't look like that's going to change as that's McElroy waiting to check in. Schultz, the lone big on the floor. Bulldogs switch up top against Hallowell. Over to Uyghur. She drives to the corner. That's LaRue working against Schultz. Student section getting loud here. LaRue takes the shot, too weak off the front iron. It's Bussell going the other way, trying to push the tempo. There's Ignatowski, finds some space down low, Euros through, right hand, got it!
Feeding off that momentum from the student section. Good tip by Schultz to disrupt that shot. Ignatowski gets it in.
Student section going back to work here, chanting for the defense. Bulldogs need to put some stops together here. They want to go into halftime at least tied. So here's LaRue, guarded by Schultz. Turnaround Jay, off the back iron, won't go. Rebound, fight for it. But it's LaRue who stepped on the line. We're heading the other way.
Now we're starting to feel a little bit of a momentum shift. That's good closeout. Good defense by Schultz, battling for it. LaRue just a misstep there. Adrian ball.
I believe that was actually Rare done down low, wearing number 22. And those numbers are kind of tough to tell with the ponytails hanging down. Here's McElroy up top. Schultz wide open in the corner. She'll take the three. Nylon.
I mentioned being consistent. Now there's a little bit of consistency going on with Schultz as they respond with a three of their own.
Yeah, Hallowell, ton of space on the wing. No one within a country mile of her. She buries the three to answer right back. So the deficit now up to 7 for Adrian, trying to close out the first half. Student section trying to do their part. Is Schultz open again from 3? She'll take it and bury it again.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
So deficit down to 4, 43 seconds left. Calvin gonna have to take a shot here. They lost their 2-for-1 opportunity. Student section getting involved here. Here's Fernandez driving. Kick over to Wiegers in the corner, guarded by McElroy. Nothing doing, back to Fernandez. Good defense by Lish. Driving in, lot of contact. And fouled, and she'll be heading to the line for 2.
Easy call. Like that's pretty hard to miss. But honestly, before that call, great stuff by Lish and shutting down the first 2 drive attempts. And Schultz just a little bit too late on the rotation, leads to Fernandez to the line.
Yeah, it's good overall defense there. And if you're Adrian, even if you're down by 6 points going into halftime, you're not upset about it. You got to remember, they lost by 22 less than a month ago against this exact same team. And yes, you were on the road, and now you get to play on your home court in front of the home fans. But still, for a team that absolutely dominated you like they did last time, you're hanging with them right now, and, well, you're one hot streak away from taking the lead.
And we'll see if that hot streak starts now.
So they should be playing for the last shot here. Under 20 to play. A lot of defensive pressure here. McElroy on the wing. Looking for some space. Nothing doing so far. Clock winding down. Under 10 seconds. Ignatowski, deep 3 from the wing. Almost banked it in, but won't go. Calvin has an opportunity to go in the other way, but Wiegers took too much time, and she'll chuck one up last second. So that is going to do it from the first half here. 41-35, the Calvin University Knights got the job done here in the first half. And we mentioned it earlier, but it's largely been a team effort, but you can't ignore what Fernandez has done so far.
Yeah, Anna Fernandez, she's proven the player that we were hyping up and talking about early on in the show. Right? She's getting to open spaces, she's driving the lanes, and even if she doesn't have anything available, the handles that she's moving on is making sure everything's going in.
Yeah, she got 15 points in the game, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, even has a block, so just filling up the stat sheet on all directions. But on the other end, it's been Anna Ignatowski, leading scorer for the Bulldogs at the half with 9.
Yeah, one of the freshmen that we highlighted in our freshman segment, right? Ignatowski, starts off with a good steal, right, into an easy layup. And how about the three-pointers that she's been able to make? The plays to really spark up this offense to put it in close.
Yeah, we see another one here. She was open from the top, so decides to pull it. She buried it again. Really the only person on this Bulldog team with a just, very good three-point percentage is Sophia Bussell, but if they can get someone like Anna Ignatowski going from outside, that just becomes another lethal weapon for this offense.
That is true. Ignatowski, we know she can sling it from behind the arc, so is Ava Schultz. We're very excited to see the second half coming up.
Yeah, so that's going to do it from us here for the first half. 41-35, Bulldogs trail headed into the tunnel. But don't go anywhere when we come back. Second half basketball here on Adrian College TV. Here's McElroy up top. Schultz wide open in the corner. She'll take the three. Nylon.
We talk.
Bulldog fans, remember to follow Adrian College TV on social media. For game highlights and campus events, you can catch it all on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at Adrian College TV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our future streams live and support your Bulldogs.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
You stand today, students, on the threshold of a magical time in your life. A time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and great opportunity. A time that you will always look back on.
This is the Arrington Bookstore at Adrian College, the place to get game day ready, represent your clubs and organizations, and be Bulldog proud. With a wide selection of merchandise and a smile at every visit, stop by inside the Kane Student Center to pick up your Adrian College wares and make it another great day to be a Bulldog.
I'm a special ed social worker.
And I'm a third-year public affairs major.
I'm an action filmmaker.
Jevi is like a consolidated platform where I could have focused information in a couple swipes.
You can be another small voice that adds to a beautiful space. That's what I'm here for.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Morgan, the current student government president here at Adrian College. I chose Adrian College because of the campus size. Campus feels like a fun, energetic community where everyone knows each other. If you want to see what Adrian has to offer for you, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
Adrian College is a private liberal arts institution known for its diverse academic programs, strong emphasis on experiential learning, vibrant campus life, and commitment to fostering a supportive community. Want to visit Adrian College for yourself? Visit our website at adrian.edu/campus visit.
If there was one word I was going to use to describe the communication arts program at Adrian College, it would be unique. Students find themselves on the radio, in front of and behind the camera, and directing their own programs. Students learn in a personalized environment that sets them up for a world of opportunities. Are you ready for your moment in the limelight? Learn more about the Rush Communications Center and Adrian College's communications program by visiting adrian.edu today.
Are you looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
These students who have worked so hard to achieve what so many never achieve. This evening you join the select company of people who hold a baccalaureate degree or a master's degree. You join a privileged group of individuals, a minority of persons in this country, and an even smaller fraction from around the world who have had both the opportunity to pursue higher education and the intelligence, discipline, and determination to reach this goal. You should be very proud.
I will unquestionably miss being an Adrian College Bulldog. I will miss the pink flowers that light up the campus each spring, the dining halls that prompt exchanges of, "How's your day been?" after a long day of classes, and the sporting events that fill students with pride. I will miss the way this campus instantly feels like home each time I set foot on that Bulldog mile.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Before the achievements, before the celebrations, there's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
These students who have worked so hard to achieve what so many never achieve. This evening you join the select company of people who hold a baccalaureate degree or a master's degree. You join a privileged group of individuals, a minority of persons in this country, and an even smaller fraction from around the world who have had both the opportunity to pursue higher education and the intelligence, discipline, and determination to reach this goal. You should be very proud.
I will unquestionably miss being an Adrian College Bulldog. I will miss the pink flowers that light up the campus each spring, the dining halls that prompt exchanges of, "How's your day been?" after a long day of classes, and the sporting events that fill students with pride. I will miss the way this campus instantly feels like home each time I set foot on that Bulldog mile.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back inside the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center for some ACTV at the half. It is the Calvin University Knights who have the lead 41-35. So, AG, who's been getting it done on the Calvin side of things?
On the Calvin side of things, Anna Fernandez. She's been really the star player for this team that we have, checking off all the boxes, leading the team in scoring today with 15, right, making sure that her team has the best chance to win both on and off the ball.
Yeah, absolutely, filling up the stat sheet. And, well, outside of her, it's really been a collective team effort in terms of scoring. So looking over on the Adrian side of things, our leading scorer is Anna Ignataski, 4 for 6 from the field, 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. But, well, if you heard about what we talked about at the top of the broadcast, it's been Sophia Bussell who's, given the Bulldogs a good 10 minutes tonight, 2 for 3 from the field, 1 for 1 from beyond the perimeter, a pair of rebounds as well. She is at 5 points. Let's take a look at the full team stats so far so we can get a better picture of how things are going. So obviously the score 41-35. Looking at field goals, it's Calvin 16 for 27. That's 59.3%. Adrian at 46.7%. But look at that 3-point field goal percentage.
Yeah, Calvin playing like a well-oiled machine, making sure that they find the right players, draw everybody in, kick it back out, and taking advantage of when Adrian is slow on the closeout and hitting their shots for it.
Now, granted, that 80%, only 4 of 5 attempts, but the Bulldogs are 5 for 13, so far fewer attempts for just 1 fewer make for these Knights. Definitely getting the job done on the shooting side of things. Also, 100% at the free throw line, 5 for 5. Bulldogs at 2 for 4. But looking at the turnovers, we kind of expected more in this game.
Yeah, both teams with a high turnover rate on average throughout the season. But even though we're seeing we have 4 turnovers apiece, right? We're seeing the teams take care of the ball a little bit more. Yes, we see a little bit sporadics. We see some fights for the ball, but overall, they are taking care of the ball. And looking at the turnovers, then you look at rebounds. This is gonna be a battle to the end.
Yeah, just a complete 180, like what we saw last month. If you remember in that game, it was 24 turnovers the Calvin Knights committed compared to 18 for the Bulldogs. So the fact that we're at 4 apiece at halftime just shows how much emphasis these two teams and coaching staffs have put into limiting those turnovers.
Yes, a lot of team play, making a lot of team smart play. I think that was one thing that got away from both these teams last time they met, is that they just wanted to go, and didn't really slow down. But now that they slowed down, focus on execution.
So that's going to do it from us at halftime here. We're going to step outside for just a second, a little over a minute before we tip off for the second half. So Remington Gilniak, Alex Grove, we're going to step aside for just a second. When we come back, second half basketball here in Adrian College TV.
Before the achievements, before the celebrations, there's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
Welcome back inside the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center, ready for second half basketball. And before we get to that, let's take a look at some players potentially in foul trouble. On the Bulldogs side of things, it's pretty much just Aubrey Ix has 2 fouls. However, both of those came on the floor, not on a shot, and both in mostly perimeter situations.
Yeah, Aubrey Ix, again, in the first half of this game, right, talked about defense, talked about the transition game, talked about how when closing out, they weren't closing out fast enough, which led to some of this foul trouble, especially for Aubrey Ix.
Now, on the Calvin side of things, it is Lydia Sull and Ryan Rohrer, 2 fouls apiece. So, this Calvin team kind of similar to Adrian in the fact that just limited depth at the big position. So the Bulldogs are able to penetrate here, get those players into some more foul trouble. Should be looking good here in the second half. Well, it's the Bulldogs with it. Lish going to take the three from the wing. Too strong off the back iron. Rebounded by Saul. He's going the other way, pushing the tempo. Wide open three here from LaRue, and she buries it.
Once again, seeing that open space, taking advantage of it, LaRue adds on three.
So Ix down low, dishes it to Schultz up top, now over to Liner. Ignatowski in the corner, swings it over to Lish. Lish working against LaRue. Pressure comes, Ix drives. She'll go through a couple defenders. Contact drawn. She'll be heading to the line for another two.
Good stuff by Ix. Like, yes, she's in foul trouble, but I like that she stays aggressive on the ball.
Yeah, this will be Ix's third trip to the free throw line today. 2 for 4 in the game. It's a bit of a quiet night for her considering her overall usage in this one. She's 1 for 5 from the field, 2 for 4 from the charity stripe. Only 3 rebounds in this game. However, 2 of those are offensive. 1 assist, 1 turnover, and 1 block, and she makes the first one. You know, with a game that we expect to be tight down to the wire, every point matters, and, well, free throws are a part of that.
Yeah, and with Calvin making all their free throws earlier in that first half, right, you can see how the point led up, and as we see Coach Miller get into a conversation with the ref.
Yeah, Sam Miller I have never seen Sam Miller this fired up, and they're going to tee him up. Not sure what he is so upset about, but he is still not calming down. Student section having his back. Sam Miller still in the face of the referee. I'm surprised there's not someone trying to grab him away from the situation. So he's finally going to calm down.
If I'm seeing this correct, I could be wrong, but if I'm seeing this correctly, he was pointing towards when Ix was taking her free throws. Don't know what it was, but it looks like they're still talking.
Yeah, Sam Miller still just irate with this official as Ix drills the next free throw.
Well, it's good to see that cooler heads are prevailing as both sides are calming down.
I'm a little surprised they never gave Miller a second technical there. Well, it's been about 45 seconds to a minute now, and he has just started to, close his mouth. As we'll see the technical free throws on the other side. It'll be Fernandez, who's their best free throw shooter. First shot from her up and in. Still not exactly sure what Sam Miller was so upset about.
I don't know either. But hopefully it doesn't cost him down the run.
Second shot from Fernandez up and in. It'll be 46-37. Calvin leads with possession. It'll be Caitlin LaRue on the inbound. So it's Wiegers with it, guarded by Schultz up top. Looks like Bulldogs going to settle into a zone here. Liner's on the wing. Lish closes out on the shooter. Down low. Now back out. Here's LaRue, dishes it back to Wiegers. Student section getting loud over there. Fernandez almost loses out of bounds. This time she does. But they're going to say it's off of Lish. We'll stay on this end.
Now, one thing, and just quick notice here, as the Adrian Bulldogs go from a man-to-man defense to a zone defense, we'll see if this works out.
Yeah, so it'll be Wiegers on the inbound, looking for someone to get it to. Going to go off the leg of Liner.
Calvin making sure that they get as much time as they need, but that shot clock does run even if you can't find nothing.
So Wiegers looking again, coming off a couple screens. This is Fernandez, a lot of pressure from Lish, but it's Fernandez who comes away with it. In the corner, Wiegers down low. Foul call, jump ball.
That was a smart play by Ixer. Sorry, partner, for talking over you on that one. But that was a smart play by Ix. As she saw the rotations, she saw that they were taking a little bit too long with the decision-making. Started to tackle the ball there.
I was just a little confused. Ava Schultz looked like she was going to take the inbound pass, even though it's Calvin basketball. So here's Rohrer down low. Puts a couple nice shifty moves and puts it in. So Bulldogs look to respond here. This is their first time down on this end of the floor in, quite a while. So Leinrith has it on the wing now over to Ignatowski. Still this physical man-to-man defense by Calvin, giving the Bulldogs fits. So Ix has it up top. Dish it over to Leinert. Leinert drives, puts the brakes on, kick to Schultz. She'll go baseline, has some roofs, goes up and under for the reverse, puts it in for 2.
Good eye by Schultz, recognizing that switch coming, going for the underhand scoop onto the basket.
There's Wiegers up top. Bulldogs still in this zone. Desperately trying to stack some stops on top of each other, get themselves back into this game, but not going to do it here. Fernandez wide open in the corner, and she drills it.
So Anna Fernandez with that 3 puts her up to 20.
Yeah, just fought through a few off-ball screens, got herself wide open in the corner, and absolutely drilled it. Bulldogs need to respond here. Deficit is up to 12 points, the largest of the game for either side. So it's Schultz on the wing, guarded by Reardon. Now to Ignatowski, shot clock winding down. She has the grenade. She gets fouled. Fortunate break for the Bulldogs as we'll stay on this end of the floor.
Fortunate indeed as the inbound's coming up. Here we go. Nice play here. There's a drive. Give it off to Ava Schultz. Ba-bam, ba-bam. Sidestep. Right there under the basket.
So here's Lish off the inbound from the baseline. Puts it in for 2. Little nifty play there. It's Lish that inbounded it to Ix, who gave it right back. And well, Lish with just enough space to put it in. So on the other end, Fernandez in the corner. Over to Wiegers, down low, and it's stolen by Ignatowski once again. Going the other way, she slowed things up. Lish was begging for the ball there, but Ignatowski never got it to her. Schultz will try to drive once again, this time shut down by Reardon. Goes back into Ignatowski, goes behind the back. Nice move there, but nothing doing. Leinert uses the screen. Good dish down low to Ix, goes up. She is fouled, and we head to the line for 2.
Love how we're seeing Adrian basketball once again with how the spacing's coming up, them being aggressive, forcing Calvin to get into that foul trouble to stop him.
Yeah, we talked a lot about consistency, especially last week was a big talking point, but even this week, they just need to put together more consistent offensive possessions, and, well, that one's a great example of it. You saw Ignatowski with the steal, and she was the one that brought it up the floor. Instead of really pushing the tempo and, making a risky pass to Lish, which, had it succeeded, would have led to a bucket. However, just the odds of that didn't stack up with, settling into the offense and getting a good possession like that. So just good court awareness overall, kind of playing it safe, and, they got the result they wanted. Ix just couldn't convert. So Fernandez step back, Jay from the mid-range, won't go. Rebounded by Schultz. Bulldogs get back-to-back stops. It'll be Moorhead going the other way. Puts the brakes on. Down low pass to Schultz. Nice snag by her. Have to slow things up here. Moorhead uses the screen from Ix. Now to Lish. She'll drive. Putting the brakes on against Fernandez. Nothing doing. They're going to call a foul on the floor, I believe, against Fernandez.
Yeah, good play by Lish, making sure she gets going. And that's who you want to target right now. You want to target Fernandez. Yes, she is doing really well on defense, staying with her assignment. But at the same time, the more foul trouble you get with her, the easier the game's going to be.
Dish to the corner. Here's Leinert for 3. Too strong off the back iron, but Ix, nice offensive rebound. Her 3rd offensive rebound of the game. Schultz now up top, gives way to Leinert. Leinert puts the brakes on. She'll give to Schultz, fumbled around a little bit, deflects over to Lish after it ping-pongs around for a while, looking for some space. Shot clock winding down. Lish drives, left-handed floater, won't go. Rebounded by Reardon. Knights going the other way.
Although we didn't convert on that possession, it was still a good possession overall as Calvin responds with the 3.
That's Caitlin LaRue, wide open 3, and she buries it. That's going to force a timeout from Sam Miller, and we're going to step out along with him. 5:17 remaining in the third quarter. It is 54-42 in favor of the Knights, but don't go anywhere. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Morgan, the current student government president here at Adrian College. I chose Adrian College because of the campus size. Campus feels like a fun, energetic community where everyone knows each other. If you want to see what Adrian has to offer for you, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu www.adrianccollege.edu/campus-visit.
Don't miss Chase Matthew live at Adrian College on March 21st at 7 p.m. for our spring concert. It's free for all of Adrian College students, and tickets are available now at adriancollege.hometownticketing.com. That's March 21st. Chase Matthew at Adrian College. We're holding it down. So Calvin regains their biggest lead of the game, and it's up to 12 points now. So we'll take a look at what got them there.
Yeah, pulling the ball up the court, right? Wide open three, missed assignment, gives Calvin a chance.
And we've seen the transition offense really take off in the third quarter here for Calvin. I think a lot of that's as a result the Bulldogs switched into a zone. It's just taken them an extra couple beats to get into that defensive positioning.
Well, even before they switched into the zone, we saw that the hustle was kind of lacking on the transition back to defense. Hopefully they can make me eat my words as this game goes along.
So it'll be Moorhead bringing it up. Bulldogs got to start putting buckets together here on a more consistent rate. As Schultz has it, uses the screen from Ix. Now to Moorhead, goes for the drive, gets a stumble from the defender. Crowd reacts to it, nothing doing. Schultz Euros in, left hand, puts it up for two.
Good bucket by Ava Schultz, taking advantage of that first step. And when you're against somebody like Saul, you want to make sure you get that first step in.
Here's LaRue. Hot hand, she drives in. Schultz swats it away. Able to get a rebound there and a kick out for three. Rims out. Rebounded by Raredon. Ends up back with Wiegers.
Adrian went back to a man-on-man.
Outside. It's LaRue. Falls down. Looks like she's okay. Inside. Goes up. Won't go. Lydia Saul heading to the line for two.
Yeah, there's this pick and roll, a little bit of whoopsie daisy, but Saul getting in there against Aubrey Ix, which causes her to be in more foul trouble.
So it's another timeout here at the 4:21 mark. So the deficit at 10 points. That is before we're going to see Lydia Saul head to the line for two. Now Saul not a fantastic free throw shooter, 19 for 33 on the season. That is just about 58%. So, well, if someone's going to end up on the line for the Knights, well, if you're the Bulldogs, you're a little fortunate that it is Lydia Saul.
Yeah, I mean, good on defense, but free throws, at least she's better than Shaq in his prime. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I'm still thinking back to that altercation we saw between one of the officials and Sam Miller. I've been doing these games for about 2 years for this women's team, and I have never seen Sam Miller be that upset over something that didn't seem like it was worth the reaction that it got.
Yeah, what I saw prior to that, before we started seeing that yelling match between them two, I saw Ava Schultz, she was fixing her shoe. Okay, that's understandable. Him talking to his guards. But, that's where we started seeing everything unfold, if you will. So it could have been because the ref was trying to stop that conversation or something along those lines. I don't know, but I'm just glad that Coach Miller is still in the game and cooler heads have prevailed.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he didn't pick up that second tee. He was jawing for quite a while. Referees gave him quite a long leash there. It's at the line now. It is going to be Lydia Saul. As we mentioned, not the best free throw shooter. Displays that there. First one way too strong off the back iron. Right now, if you're the Bulldogs, you're just praying for any missed baskets.
Yeah, missed baskets is more opportunities for you. Sadly, no.
Yeah, second shot gets the shooter's roll and goes in. So 1 for 2 at the line for Saul. The Bulldogs who need to respond going the other way. It's McElroy, swings it over to Lish. Over to Leinert, risky pass there. Now to Schultz. Schultz looking for space, but again, suffocating defense by these Knights. Bulldogs just can't find lanes anywhere. Here's Leinert in the corner, too strong. It's going to be a foul on the rebound, charged against the newly entered Morgan Babb.
Yeah, just a little bit too strong of a push.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there. Babb had decent positioning down low. Not sure if she had to make the contact that she did, but She ended up doing so. It's going to result in the Knights going the other way. So under 4 to play in the third quarter. Lish takes it away. Has a wide open layup, goes up with the right hand and puts it in. Big defensive play by Hannah Lish.
Good steal and keeping up that pressure with that full court press.
So McElroy now will put the pressure on against the Uyghurs now. It ends up to LaRue on the wing. Gets a screen over the rower. Now back to Uyghurs, tries to penetrate. Bulldogs shut it down, pass down low. Now over to Rower, working against Schultz. Spins, no space allowed by Schultz, but a tough bucket by Ryan Rower.
Credit where credit's due, able to fight through that tough defense in order to get that hard two.
You know, it was great defense by Schultz, but just better offense. So now Morgan Babb will take a pull-up J, rattles around a bit. Rebound ends up in the hands of LaRue, pushing the tempo the other way. Active hands by the Bulldogs, stops the transition bucket. But they trail by 11. Need to put some stops together as it's Chloe Uyghurs from the wing. Now has it up top, looking for some space. Off-ball screen for LaRue. We'll see Rower driving once again. Referee comes in with a late whistle. They're going to put Rower on the line.
And there goes setting it up. Looks for the off-ball screen, give it up to Roar. And that hand in between as Abel Schultz gets calls in for a reach.
Yeah, just an unfortunate call there. Again, Schultz has been playing good defense all night, but just kind of the 50-50 calls not been going the Bulldogs' way so far. As Roar ends up on the line. First shot won't go. Student section loves that, but Ryan Rohrer, pretty good free throw shooter, 71% on the season. Second shot from her, absolute butter. Increases the lead up to 12. Bulldogs looking to pick up the pace here. That ball swings around quickly down the court. So it's McElroy up top. Now Lish tries to penetrate, nothing doing. Slows up, goes up with the right hand, rattles around, won't go. Now odd man rush for the Knights. Wide open three from the wing. They're going to say she stepped out of bounds. We're going the other way.
Bulldogs caught a break on that transition. Schultz was the only one back in the 3-on-1. Let's see if they can take advantage of that.
It was Lily Nitz, had the back part of her foot just on that line there, resulting in the turnover. Bulldogs need to respond here. Foul called. It's going to be on the floor going against Gabby Hallowell.
Bulldogs, like one thing we have seen the Bulldogs from this break. Yes, they are down. Yes, we get that. But their aggressiveness on offense in order to get these foul opportunities, that's one adjustment I've been loving that I'm seeing.
Yeah, certainly an adjustment they've made. You know, in that first quarter, really the first part of the second quarter too, we really saw them try to just shoot as many threes as possible, just playing the pure numbers game. But here in the second half, playing much more physical, putting the head down, trying to get themselves onto the charity stripe as McElroy converts both. So checking in for the Bulldogs is Caitlin Griffin. And her first appearance of the game as they put on the full court pressure, hoping to add a little bit of length here. As Calvin does finally get it across the timeline. Now to the corner, it's Nitz to the wing. Fernandez from the corner. She'll take the three off the iron. Good rebound by Lish as she escapes traffic and pushes the tempo up the floor. Dish back to Griffin. Her three-pointer, too weak off the front iron, but rebounded by Lish. Fights through, goes up, counted, and the foul.
Hard way earning that 3 points. Oh, look at that. Boom. Griffin with the three, didn't go, fighting for the ball. There goes Lish, and the land of giants, she puts it in. Ah!
What a big possession there by the Bulldogs, and Lish caps it off with the free throw. Deficit down to 7 in the game. Again, it was Griffin who had the good look that couldn't convert, but how about Hannah Lish? Made a big defensive play on the other end, securing the rebound, then the offensive rebound, finds space to get the and one.
And that's the hustle that they were missing in that first half. And that's the hustle that's going to get everything clicking.
On the dish to Rohr, working inside, pass outside to Wiegers, good close up by Griffin. It's poked away by Lish once again. She drives in, goes up right hand, puts it in for the bucket.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
And how about this momentum now? Student section on their feet here at the Marilat. Bulldogs continuing to put the full court pressure on in the waning seconds of the third quarter.
Up and loud, and there's that timeout. Go. Look, somebody play 50 Cent, this how we do. Adrian Bulldog basketball is now being on display. You needed a spark plug. Lish provided that spark, and look how it's responding and infectious.
So 43 and a half seconds left in the third quarter. Bulldogs with a chance to go 2 for 1. It'll be Schultz inbounding, Lish the target. She'll be guarded closely by Reardon. Lish brings it across the timeline. Have to hurry if they want the 2 for 1. Over to Griffin. Griffin drives, has space down low, swings around the right hand, but a huge block by Lydia Saul.
Lydia, like all game, from the start of the game onwards, Lydia Saul has been on it with protecting that paint.
So on the inbound again, Bulldogs can no longer go 2 for 1. Shot clock winds down to 6. Lish goes baseline, uses that strength, puts it up for 2. How about Hannah Lish?
Wait, room! Wait, room!
So 16 seconds in the third quarter. Bulldogs with all the momentum in the world. Fernandez uses the screen, guarded now by Griffin. Bulldogs sitting in the zone right now. Driving inside, kick out to a wide open Wiegers. Won't go off the iron. Rebound, it goes off of a red jersey. We're heading the other way. But with 0.4 seconds left on the clock, Bulldogs just going to do anything they can. They can't actually get a shot up realistically. But how about at the end of the third quarter for the Bulldogs?
Just energy, hustle, all in one. Right? Those final 90 seconds of that third quarter puts them within 3. They were down, but they were not out.
You said it, down but not out. We've played 3 quarters here at the Marilat. Bulldogs trail by 3. We're going down to the wire here. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
Adrian College is a private liberal arts institution known for its diverse academic programs, strong emphasis on experiential learning, vibrant campus life, and commitment to fostering a supportive community. Want to visit Adrian College for yourself? Visit our website at adrian.edu/campus visit.
Welcome back inside of the Marilat Sport and Fitness Center. I don't know about you, AG. This place absolutely on fire right now after a big end of the third quarter.
Oh, yeah. You can feel the energy in the room. You can feel the momentum has shifted. Now, we've seen this at the end of the second quarter leading into the second half. Can we keep this up? That is the only question. Can we keep up the momentum that we just gained?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough task for sure. Again, we mentioned this Adrian team. They are a little bit better than their record indicates. 4-7 coming in, but at the end of the day, they're 4-7 for a reason. They have not proven themselves that they can close out games like this, and they haven't proven that they're a perennial winner within this conference. But, a game like this, as the season begins to sort of wind down here in the month of February, this is a statement game for them.
Yeah, statement game for next year. It's proven, showing the league that, hey, we may not have gotten this year, but next year, you better watch out.
Man, how about the student section right now? I don't know if I've ever seen it as bumping as it is right now. Just about the entire football team as the Bulldogs try to erase what was at one point a 12-point deficit here in the beginning of the fourth quarter. It'll be the same lineup as we saw at the end of the third with Lish at the 1. Swings it over to Griffin. Now to Linerth up top. Uses the screen from Ix. Passed down low to Ix. Swiped away by Rohr. So the Knights are going to slow things up here with Wiegers.
It was a good look. Just need a little bit more zip on that pass.
We'll end up with Rohr against Ix. It's been a good matchup so far. Rohr goes up right over Ix and puts it in. It's Fernandez who is applying the pressure once again. Try to do the same here. She'll follow Lish around. A hot hand on both ends of the court. But here's Griffin slipping down low. Couldn't handle the pass. Turnover here would be going the other way. Here's Wiegers. Dishes it over to Fernandez. Down low, but it's swiped away by Schultz. Bulldogs trying to get the momentum back. Here's Lish the other way. The hot hand against Fernandez. 2 leading scorers in her game. As it ends up with Griffin on the far wing. Now to Ix in the corner, working against Rower down low, trying to get her get back, but has it taken away. Ends up in the hands of Wiegers. We'll see if she slows things up here. Yes, she will.
One thing that Adrian needs to do right now is that, yes, you had the momentum. The energy is still high, but you got to make sure you settle that down a little bit so you can continue to execute the way you have been.
Fernandez, pull-up J from the charity stripe, goes in and out. Couldn't get the roll. Schultz with the rebound. This is the first extended run this year we've seen from Caitlin Griffin. She made a couple early mistakes here, but overall been playing her role, being in the right spot. Just about executing from here. It ends up with Lish. Uses the screen from Ix. Pass swiped away once again by Rower. She is in every passing lane right now.
Yeah. Calvin's doing a really good job reading that pick and roll very well. If that's 2 times in a row they try to run that pick and roll. Maybe trying to think about other options.
Rower takes the J, won't go. Deflected out of bounds off of Saul. Bulldog basketball.
Yeah, pass to Griffin didn't go. But one thing that's underestimated, like as Griffin is subbed out, right, is how important those role players are. And coming up the court.
So Schultz has it up top. She'll dish over to Ignatowski, freshly subbed back into this game. Now to Moorhead on the wing. Gets a screen from Ix, doesn't use it. Moorhead drives, a lot of contact called. Shot waved off. It's going to be on the floor against Chloe Wiegers.
Good job by Moorhead. Yes, we haven't seen her score a whole bunch this game, but still making the right plays, still being aggressive, attacking, getting Calvin in foul trouble.
Well, Moorhead not much of a shooter, much more of a slashing point guard. I'd like to see her get to the line a little bit more. Here's Ignatowski trapped down low, walk through left hand, won't go. Tough shot there. It'll be Rower bringing it down the other end. A lot of pace. Ix comes in. They're going to call a foul on Sticks.
Good try by Ix to disrupt the movement, but alas, they got that reach.
Yeah, so 7:16 left in this game. Bulldogs trail by 5, and all the momentum that was built up at the end of the third has slowly dwindled away. Starting to tip in favor more in the Knights. So it'll be Wiegers on the inbound. She'll kick it out to Rower. Bab checks in. She draws the Rower assignment. It's Lish against Fernandez. Fernandez backing down Lish. Fade away Jay. Too weak off the front iron. Rebound Bab. She'll slow things up. Give way to Lish. We'll see what she has in store for us in the fourth quarter. She works against Fernandez. Nothing doing. She'll kick out to Schultz. Schultz looking to go baseline. She goes for the reverse layup, but has it swatted away, I believe, by Rower, but we're going to stay on this end of the floor.
Yeah, try to see if Lightning can strike twice with that same move that she's hit in the third quarter. Unfortunately, did not go that time.
I mean, Moorhead on the inbound. So finds Lish down low, try to use the glass, but too strong, won't go. Fernandez almost leaked out in transition, but a foul by Ignatowski is going to prevent that.
Those ones are always iffy for me, right? Especially somebody who loves contact sports, right? Those ones are always iffy because, like, with the momentum of both players going at the same time.
So we're going to see a timeout, I believe. This one called by Mark Christner and the Knights, and we're going to take a break right along with them. 60-55 your score, just under 7 minutes to play. We got a good finish brewing here. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
I'm a special ed social worker.
And I'm a third-year public affairs major.
I'm an action filmmaker.
Jevi is like a consolidated platform where I could have focused information in a couple swipes.
You can be another small voice that adds to a beautiful space. That's what I'm here for.
Just a reminder, ACTV broadcasts are fully student ran. Students call the shots around here literally, and today the ones calling the shots, of course, myself, Alexander Grove, Audrey Evans on our game cam, and our director in operations today is our streaming coordinator, Josiah Durrell. So I'll tell you what, AG, we got a good finish brewing here. However, Bulldogs need to get that energy back that we saw at the end of the third.
And I feel like the energy is still there, right? But like a fire in a fireplace during the wintertime. You got to make sure you keep that wood flowing in. You got to make sure you keep that wood tucked in so that fire can still grow and still live.
Yeah, keep the fire going indeed. So it'll be Calvin possession. Pretty much seen the same lineup the majority of the game from them. And well, they may play in the Bulldogs' favor as, well, fatigue may start to set in. There's now a long bus ride from the west side of the state all the way here over to Adrian. But they trap Fernandez, but leaves down low. That's Rower, mismatch against Lish, puts it up and in. Not the result they wanted there. Deficit up to 7 now. Moorhead brings it up. She works against Wiegers. Over to Ignatowski. Guarded by LaRue. Doesn't use the screen from Schultz. Over to Babb. Out of Moorhead on the wing. Gets trapped for a moment. Babb has space down low. Goes up. Fadeaway. Won't go. Rebounded by Fernandez. She'll push the tempo the other way. Now slow things up. She gives way to Wiegers. Wiegers over to LaRue on the wing. Down low to Saul. Now back to Fernandez. Gets a screen from Rower. Looks to get it down low. Nothing doing. But they got the mismatch once again as Lish pokes it away. Babb couldn't get there. Just a step behind. Fernandez, lot of space. That's a deep 2. Rattles, won't go. Rebound by Saul. Puts it up and in for 2. Now Moorhead trying to respond. Bulldogs need a bucket in any way right now. Ignatowski baseline cut. Nothing doing there. She kicks it out. Lish now drives. She'll take the pull-up. Jay, butter.
Little by little.
Little by little indeed. 7-point deficit, just over 5 to play. It's Chloe Wiegers bringing it up for the Knights. Mark Krishner being very vocal over on that sideline, directing traffic for his players. It's LaRue, good dish down low to Rower. Contact, no foul called. Babb has it going the other way. Looking for someone to get it to. Moorhead on the wing. She drives, puts on the brakes. Now she'll fully slow things up here. Missed opportunity in transition for the Bulldogs. We'll see if they can recover. So it'll be dished over to Schultz, now to Ignatowski. Uses the screen from Schultz. She'll try to drive in. Goes up, floater right hand. Won't go. Rebounded by Fernandez. Last couple possessions, we've seen a little bit of contact on either side, but no whistle being called. Officials letting them play here deep into the fourth.
And this is how we all like it, right? Let them play, let the game flow, going all the way down to the wire.
Schultz, more good defense. This time she gets a hand on it. Babb with the rebound, going the other way, looking for someone to get it to. She'll find Lish on the wing, works against Fernandez. Now back to Babb, now to Moorhead. Guarded by Wiegers, driving in, steps through, but quickly swiped away by Rohr. Yet another steal for her. Leads to a good opportunity down low, but Ignatowski in the way. That's Lish. Sends it away.
Good transition defense. Good transition defense as it looked to be an easy 2, especially with Saul with the height difference, right? Lish got a way to stop that rush.
So we'll see Bustle, Ix, and Leinerth check in. Schultz and Lish remain on the floor. Leinerth fights through the screen. Stepping through as LaRue goes up and in. Count it. And the foul.
Yeah, had that step. She earned 3.
Yeah, not the first time we've seen a good dish to a cutting Knight today. Just the playmaking on the Knight side of things just been a little bit better for the Bulldogs. Question is, can the Bulldogs overcome that? They trail by 10 with under 4 minutes to play. It'll be Lish directing traffic up top. Navigates through over to the wing, almost has a strip, remains with it. Over to Bustle. She works against Wiegers. Swings it to Schultz on the wing. Drop step, nothing doing. Over to Lish. She'll try to penetrate. A lot of contact. There'll be a foul on the floor. We're staying on this end.
Yeah, making sure you stay aggressive. Like, don't go away from that aggressiveness that got you more and more possessions building up. Keep it up.
So Lish will be the inbounders. We see Anna Fernandez check out for at least probably about a minute, and we'll see her quickly back into this game. She's been fantastic on both sides of the ball as Bustle drives in. A lot of contact, no foul called. Missed opportunity there for the Dogs. They still trail by double digits. And we'll see Wiegers bring it up. Dish to LaRue. Here's down low. That's Raredon, has it swatted away, can end up out of bounds. We're going the other way.
Good play by Ix. Saw that Raredon brought the ball down a little bit too high on that swing. Boom, easy swipe. Our ball. It looks like they're going to challenge this.
Yeah, we're seeing Mark Christner signal to the officials. They're going to take another look at this. So while they do that, we're going to step outside for just a minute. You're watching women's basketball here at Adrian College TV.
Welcome to Adrian College, where we believe in educating both the heart and the mind. With over 100 innovative academic programs and 10 cutting-edge institutes, you'll find a path that's right for you. Join our vibrant community of over 50 athletic teams and discover why we're recognized as a U.S. News & World Report Most Innovative Institution. Adrian College, where passion meets purpose. Your future starts here.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome back inside the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center. As you can see, the officials still gathered at the scores table. Taking another look at that last play, I believe they're trying to figure out who exactly it went off on, but from our angle up here, it certainly looked like this should be Bulldog basketball.
Yeah, before we get to that, looking at Lish stopping that rush early on, and that play that they're reviewing, it did look like Raredon came down with the swing, trying to swing the ball right back up for a shot. Ix with the hand, and it looked like it went off of Raredon's forearm as a follow through. But we'll see what they call.
Speaking of Ryan Rohrer, we haven't really talked about her much today, but she is having quite the impact on both ends of the floor. But I want to focus on the defensive end. Now, she's only got 4 rebounds in the game, but 3 steals, 1 block, and that's not even counting just the stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet.
Yeah, she's really been coming alive here in this fourth quarter. Like when they saw that Adrian was shutting down Fernandez, somebody else needed to step up, and Rohrer was that person that stepped up.
Yeah, it's been Rohrer and Saul they've just been shutting down the inside for the Bulldogs, making the lives of players like Schultz and Ix, and we've seen a bit of Babs tonight, just making their lives very difficult. Well, the Bulldogs have had to rely on the perimeter game from, this person right here, Hannah Lish. And here's Bustle with a deep 3, nylon.
Sophia Bustle, can it start?
It's a big shot there. Deficit down to 7. Rejuvenates the life back into this place as there's about 2.5 minutes to play. On the wing, Minderhout. Out of Wiegers, navigating through, guarded by Schultz. Down low, pass to the wing. Here's LaRue driving baseline, reverse layup, won't go. Fight for the rebound. It's collected by the Knights. Here's a 3 from LaRue, nylon.
Yes, got to make sure you get those rebounds, limit those second opportunities.
It was 3 white jerseys against 1 red down low, and they just couldn't come up with it. As it ricochets around, and a great opportunity for LaRue. Here's Ix down low. Nice pass to Linerth, who puts it up but couldn't get the roll. Rebounded by the Knights. And as these seconds continue to dwindle away, so do the Bulldog chances of winning. The Uyghurs up top, guarded closely by Lish. Ix tries to come up. Now Bustle goes for the trap, nothing doing. Now over to LaRue. He's made a few threes in this game. They take another one here, but a pass goes off the hands of Minderhout. We'll be going the other way.
Fighting for the rebound. Lost that battle to Calvin, and LaRue puts one in there.
How about Lydia Saul, just as we were done talking about her, making a huge play, getting that rebound and keeping things alive. That may have been the dagger from LaRue. If things, well, stay at this pace so far. Bulldogs trail by 10, minute 15 left. Lish gets a screen from Ix, puts the brakes on, almost has it taken away, ends up with Bustle. Schultz in the corner. Bulldogs got to put a shot up. It's going to be Lish from 3, way short. And an air ball will be going the other way.
I mean, it was a good look. Just trigger got pulled a little bit too late. Calls for the air ball.
Yeah, Lish not known for her perimeter shooting. Just 1 for 5 in the game today. However, is your leading scorer for the Bulldogs with 18. So the clock just about to hit the 1 minute mark. Bulldogs trail by 10. Gonna take a miracle from this point. It's going to have to start with a stop on this end. We're going to see Anna Fernandez just killing clock, and here comes the intentional foul from Lish.
Yeah. I mean, one thing we can say about Adrian's performance tonight, a little bit sloppy to start off, but they never said die. They never gave up. They always fought through. And yes, we have 51 seconds, but still, you got to love that competitiveness.
Yes, there's the intentional foul from Griffin. That is their 5th team foul, so that will be putting Chloe Uyghurs on the line. Again, I said it before, it's going to take a miracle. We'll see Bustle check back in, is trying to get some three-point shooting, but trailing by a minimum of 10. So you're looking at minimum of 4-possession game with 49 seconds left. Just not likely here, but again, give these ladies credit. They put on a pretty good show for us tonight, but in the end, they just couldn't quite get over the hump. Second shot misses. They're just going to have to run down here and shuck something up as soon as they can. Here's Schultz, deep 3, and it's blocked by Saul. Why not pad the stats for her after a fantastic defensive game? Now Uyghurs runs around and does get fouled in the end.
Yeah, Calvin's been doing that all night. Quick closeouts led to that block shot. That's all, like you said, padding the stats on the defensive end.
Again, it's going to be, this Calvin team, one of the best defensive teams you're going to find in not only the MIAA, but in Division III women's basketball as a whole. Just unrelenting on that side of the floor. Both active hands in the lanes as well as those elite closeouts like you saw in that last possession. And it's led to some stat lines where you have 5 Knights with a block in this one. It's Lydia Saul with 2 in the game. So Uyghurs has 1, Fernandez has 1, Saul with 2, Rower with 1, and Whitty with 1. So we'll have a timeout here. We're going to stay on the floor while they do that. But again, now we saw Fernandez really lead the charge in the first half. And that's what really fueled this Calvin team to with the position they're at now.
Yeah, Anna Fernandez became the leader that we all know that she can be, right? Leading by example, but that leadership spread out, right? It became infectious because when Adrian started to shut her down in the points department, we saw players like Roar. We saw players like LaRue, Raridan, right? Step up, pick up their leader in order to help secure this win.
Yeah, you said the word, I like the word leader, because Fernandez, let's face it, outside of that first half and the early parts of the second half, she wasn't the go-to scorer. They weren't coming up the ball in, where's number 13, and finding her. She was just kind of playing her role in that second half. She let what she did in the first half speak for her, and that's what opened things up for her teammates. That's where we saw the offensive explosion we were talking about from, you mentioned lower. Uyghurs was able to get some good quality shots up. LaRue had a couple big threes in this one. She went 4 for 4 from behind the arc. And, she was a major difference maker today, but a lot of that started with what Fernandez did in that first half. So here's Bustle. She's going to chuck one up with the right hand and get fouled in the process. She'll be heading to the line for 2. Oh, while we're on the subject of Sophia Bustle, let's talk a little bit more about her. Again, we highlighted her coming into the broadcast today. This Adrian team below 30% in perimeter shooting this year. So someone like Bustle, very intriguing for not only the rest of this season, but for the next few years. Only a freshman. And tonight, that free throw, her 9th point of the game. 3 for 5 from the field, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. Pair of rebounds in this game as well as an assist. She hits the second one, so double digits for her. As these Calvin University Knights will look to put the final touches on this one. They get it across the timeline, and looks like they're going to dribble this one out. Shot clock is turned off. A little surprised. Bustle still putting a little bit of pressure. It looks like she's finally going to back off now as the celebration begins for the maroon and gold. They come into enemy territory here and win this MIAA matchup against the Bulldogs.
Yeah. Tough matchup all the way to the end. Right? Like the one thing that the Bulldogs, I felt like they could have done differently is start out the way they played that third quarter. Right? If they started out the way they played that third quarter by being high energy, not being so inconsistent with both plays on offense and defense, right? This could have been a W. But at the same time, major improvement from last month, from their last matchup, right, where they lost by 22. Here, they only lost by 9. So that's a win in our book, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's, even though it is a loss, there are things you can find in this game that the Bulldogs did well. For example, the turnover battle. We haven't been able to say too many times this year that they did win the turnover battle today, 9-13. However, if you look at the rebounding battle in this one, they got absolutely dominated, 31-21. 27-16 on the defensive side of things. I think a lot of that has to do with Morgan Babb just not really being available for this game.
Yeah, when you battle illness, right, it's not the easiest thing to do, right? But plays like this, hustle plays, right, getting those rebounds and making them, count when they matter, like what Lish did there. But you're right, with Morgan Babb being out, kind of affects some of those rebounding numbers.
Yeah, and just the overall efficiency from the field. Well, Calvin had about as good of a game as you're ever going to see, especially at this level. 55.3% from the field today, 8 for 12 from behind the stripes. That is 66.7%, 2/3. Free throw percentage, 81.3%. Just looking at Calvin from top to bottom, it's hard to find one thing that they didn't excel at today.
That's a true statement. And the main thing that popped out was what you said towards the end of the game as the clock was running out, how good their defense was. Not just individual, but a team defense, closing out, making sure that they're getting the good rotations, the communication on and off the ball on offense and defense. Led to a successful win for Calvin today.
So that's going to do it from us here from ACTV. Remington, Gilniak, Alexander Grove, and everyone else here saying goodnight, everyone.
Thank you.